to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
All right, here we go. You guys ready?
I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to
DeaconLIve.
DeaconLIve.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, essential employee does not mean job security. And do you have an air scrubber in your home? What else is everyone doing? And what else is everyone shouldn't be doing during this time? Updates on your favorite grocery stores and other restaurants might be going by the wayside. All this and much, much more here on DeaconLIve. Welcome back. Welcome to DeaconLIve. And here we are in the Queen City studio, located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. Before we start the show, I think everyone needs it. This is I forget, I've lost count. What day, what week it is. You know, some say it started 4 weeks ago for some of us, and some started 2 weeks ago, but let's do this. Big arms over your head. Breathe in, and oh my God. Big stretch. Doesn't that feel good? Doesn't it feel good just to breathe it all in, just to sit back, relax, kind of look around, get your cognizance going as far as what's surrounding you right now. And I appreciate all you guys out there. I sent a mass email, a big sweep for everyone, and everyone has responded with a positive note. You know, thank you very much, Deacon, for what you do. You keep it light and fluffy with a little bit of information and stuff. But you know, this is your weekly, this is your daily distraction from all the things that going on around here, across the world, across the universe, all over the place. You know what I was thinking? You know, they were talking about some of the places that aren't as infected as other places. What about those tribes out in the middle of those Aborigine tribes out in the middle of nowhere? I mean, they have no idea what's going on. And no one, you know, has any contact with them. And I know there's one tribe out there. You get close to them, they literally will kill you, no matter who you are. Oh, we're a hello. I'm a film producer. Yes, I'm a film producer, and I'd like to film. I'm sorry, what? No. My head is attached to my body. Right. So no. Oh my God, no. Oh, and then boom, you're dead, and they just kill everybody, and then. I think they're cannibals. They eat them, or make tools out of them and stuff. But hopefully we're not at that point. We're not at that point where we're having to eat each other. Oh God, where am I going? Jesus, that was kind of morbid and stuff. Now, one thing I do want to say is I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think the world could literally be shut down. I mean, we are. It's a pandemic. I mean, when you see movies, for example, just on a smaller scale, I love horror movies. I always see horror movies where they're driving down a long path and there's no one around, and the little girl goes, "Oh, Tommy, I'm scared to go down this path." And yeah, it's okay. I got to come up with a girl's name that I haven't used 15 times. Sarah. It's okay, Sarah. We can go down this path. Everything's fine. And, you know, lightning strikes in the background. Oh, we need to find shelter. And you go, let's find that cabin over there. I'm thinking, in my world, that would never happen. There's no way, one, I'd be walking down a dark road. Two, I don't date girls named Sarah. And three, I'm not jumping in. I'd never get myself in that situation. So horror movies, it's fictitious to me. Now, you see a pandemic movie, and you're like going, well, that technically could happen. We're on the cusp of it right now. We're sitting around, staying at home, you know, except for the dumb asses out there that are doing a lot more stuff. And I'll get into those guys here in a little bit. People are freaking out. Now, it's not like, here's the thing with this pandemic, which I think it makes it a little bit more tolerable, is that it is a contact transferal. For example, you know, I touch your arm, and you don't go home and wash your arm, and for whatever reason, you take your forearm, and wipe your forehead, wipe your eye, lick it for whatever reason, and then boom, you got the corona. I touch you, I have corona. Don't mark that. But let's say the person has a corona, and it gets on their hand, and you touch them, and then that virus is on your arm, and you lick your arm, and then all of a sudden you got it. what would freak us all out if it was like an airborne thing. For example, like measles. Measles is an airborne, like if someone walks into a room and they have measles, and if you haven't been vaccinated or anything like that, there's a pretty damn good chance that you're going to get measles. You're going to get it. But coronavirus, if someone walks in the studio right now, full on blown coronavirus, and they're coughing and sniffing and farting and shitting and whatever you do, and if I don't go, okay, as long as I don't touch my face, my orifices, and this coronavirus gets in my system, I should be good. Now, granted, I'm going to go outside and boil myself, but still, for the most part, it's a transferal. It's not. Oh, let's take this call. Hello, you're on the air.
Hi, good afternoon. Am I speaking to Leonard Donis?
Yes, you are.
Hi, love. I'm calling from Office of Cano Health, Dr. Rivera. How are you doing today?
Doing good. What's going on?
Good, good. I'm calling regarding an appointment that you have for Monday the 13th. I'm just calling to confirm this appointment for you.
Okay.
Right now, we're not seeing any patients at the location, but we are offering telemedicine appointments, so your appointment will actually be on the phone.
Awesome. Thank you much. Okay. Good luck. Gotta go.
You're
Bye.
welcome.
Bye.
All
right. Well, I feel sorry for that person. Well, my number, I know. My number's like one off from everyone's phone number in Florida. And you can give us a call at 407-448-8800. You can text us live anytime at the Queen City studio located in a beautiful little town called Marshall, which is located outside of Charlotte. Now she's calling me back. Hold on, I got to tell her she's got the wrong number. Hi, you're live on the air.
Hi, my love. I just have a quick question. What insurance do you have?
My dear, I don't know if you heard what I said. You actually have the wrong number.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye. There you go. I don't know what that's about. Anyways, you can call us anytime at the... I'm glad she called me back because I felt bad hanging up on her. I'm like going, oh, Marisonia is not going to have her doctor's appointment. Anyway, so she's got the wrong number now. So anyways, back to what I was talking about. So where it's a pandemic, and in the movies, you're like going, yeah, this could happen. And so the good thing is, here's a good thing. The whole world, for the most part, let's screw the world. It's all about us, right? All about us. Big American guys. Us. The USA. If we concentrated as hard on wiping this virus out that we're all being subjected to, we're taking all the precautionary steps as far as touching things. They're putting the plastic shields up on the registers. They're only allowing so many people per square foot into, and I'll get into all these details a little bit more as we get into the program. But if we take all these measures with everything that can kill us, excuse me, while I go through puberty, that can kill us here in the United States, and everyone, they're forcing all the doctors and all the people that are getting into and trying to figure out a solution for this and a remedy or a serum to inject you and be done with it. If we did that, all of a sudden, boom, corona's cured. We don't have corona anymore. Or we got a preventative measure. If the whole world, for example, all right, now bear with me, it's a little far-fetched here. So if the whole world, if our president, no matter what president it is, whether you hate him or like him, whatever president says, okay, folks, right now, everyone for the next 30 days, you have to stay inside. You have to stay inside for 30 days, but I promise you, after 30 days, this disease, this virus, will be gone, null and void. And then if you go, okay, that's all right, I can do that, 30 days, and you're allowed to go to grocery stores, you're allowed to do the basic stuff that we're doing right now. So, and then after 30 days, guess what, America? We did it. We knocked it out. What if they were to say, all right, guys, now what's the next thing down the line? Let's just say cancer for whatever reason. Doesn't matter what kind of cancer, malignant, binary, whatever, benign, 0.0111, 1.1. Anyways, if we said, all right, guys, you guys did great on the test run, because it's the government. They're going to tell you that. You guys did good on the test run, and the coronavirus, we survived. If you guys could stay, and we'll let you out and everyone roam around. And then they go, okay, let's say September 1st to September 21st, 3 weeks. If nobody leaves your house, we're giving you a time frame, so stock up, build up, pad your bank account, pad your pantries, all that stuff. If you give us 3 weeks, we will take all the doctors that we have and force every doctor to. Now, granted, I know there's some that are still in the system in the process of going through cancer and stuff. But if they said, all the other ones that are trying to figure out why flies fly this way, why do worms do this, and why do this and that. If we said, all right, all the doctors, pay attention, focus, pay attention. We're going to take 3 weeks, and everyone that's got some kind of medical degree or some kind of medical background will dedicate this and solving cancer. All right. So, but everyone's got to stay inside. You can't go outside. Everyone's got to stay inside except for these people. And if you go grocery shopping, and America would go, yeah, we'd do that if it would cure cancer. I know that's a far stretch, but I think maybe that's the path that they should take. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I was doing my little morning walk, getting out of the house, getting my exercise and stuff, just listening to some deep listening, putting a great album on with my JBL headphones, and I'm walking and I'm listening to these deep, tracks, and I'm listening to the music and stuff. And I just kind of thought to myself, now I wasn't high, I can't walk and be high. I'd be sitting there smelling all the flowers. But I was just listening to the music, and it just kind of frees your mind when you're out in these wide open spaces and you're walking, getting some fresh air. You've been cooped up in the house this whole entire time. And I was just like, you know what? If they told America to be on lockdown for 3 weeks, and after that 3 weeks, we'll have a cure for cancer, certain parts of cancer and stuff. I think America, now that we've gone through this, would go, hey, that's not too bad. 3 weeks, cure cancer. You guys in? You guys in? You guys in? Okay. And, check everyone off. Good. Let's do it. And then move on to the next one. What's the next thing that we could fix? Blindness. I don't know. I'm just saying, the major things, how about just the regular flu? How about the common cold? How about the stuff that we, constantly puts us out of work? All that stuff. So it was just something I was thinking about on my morning walk when I was walking around, deep listening to music. When we come back, we'll dive into the meats and potatoes of the show, and believe me, this show's going to be light and fluffy, but I'm going to piss you off with a couple people that have been doing things since this whole corona lockdown, shutdown, quarantine has been happening, and you're not going to be too happy with it. And it's kind of like, let's keep an eye on our neighbors, because the neighbors are the ones that are going to do stuff without you knowing. All right, stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You can give us a call here at the station at any time at 407-448-8800. I'll take your call, whether I'm in the studio or not in the studio. I'll take your call. Now, if you don't want to talk to us live on the air, you can go to Prophet Radio. That's PROPHET Radio. And there's a little button there that says Be Heard. Click on that. It opens up a microphone on your tablet, on your PC, on your phone, and you can talk right into that. It sends it as an email file, MP3 format, to my email address here, and I'll play it on the air. So if there's anything that I've talked about in the past podcasts, or this one here, any one of them, if you want to comment on it, just let me know, and we'll play it on the air, and I'll respond to you. Believe me, I will. I respond to everybody. And one thing that I'm getting into, you've seen on Facebook, everyone's like on Facebook, I need some good shows to watch. I need some good entertainment. And people are now at home, they're quarantined at home. So like all your artists and stuff that aren't making a livable wage because their industry is closed down or there's no work for them. They're doing like live videos. Like some are doing like makeup tutorials. If someone owns a salon, or there's a couple people I saw doing like haircuts live on the Facebook thing. And painting was a big thing that I've been seeing. A couple friends of mine, they're actually very, very good artists, and they paint like when you do the wine and you know, all your girlfriends get together and you go down to the local paint shop and you do the whatever scene they got, and your scene always looks fucked up because halfway through it you're chugging wine. You're like, they only give you an hour. And you're like, going, I think it's an hour, maybe 2 hours. But boy, that goes by real fast. Anyways, one of the things that I came across, if you have to go out in public, and I know that mask, the N19 or whatever the N95, sorry, masks that are out there, people are trying to make them at home now. And if you're watching me on the video section of this podcast, I've got, hold on, let me put it, can you see me? So I've got these masks that essentially are those, let me make sure that I look okay. So the mask that I have on now is essentially those quick wicks, or they're not spongy, they're elastic, and you can, you know, fill them up with water, or get them with water, rinse them out, and then put them around your neck. Well, they also make head wraps. Oh, prime example. You ever watch Survivor? You know the buffs that they wear? It's the same material. I'm looking at myself on the camera. I'm like, oh, God, it's a good-looking guy right there. Look at, I mean, my hair's a little disheveled. It's getting long. Probably shouldn't have the light on that part of my bald head. It's not bald. It's just the lighting. Just the lighting. But yeah, these things I think are pretty good, because one thing that I know from watching crazy movies on, well, growing up as a child, watched a lot of things. But I know anytime there's a house fire, they always wet a rag and put it over their face to filter the smoke out so the person can breathe. I guess it's like reverse waterboarding, but they would do that because there would be water in the material, and they could get out of the house, you know, always breathe through a wet towel. So these are those, I don't want to call them air wick things because that's not the right word, the dry wick. So, you know, fill it up with water, or I keep seeing fill it up. Rinse it with water, you know, squeeze it out, and then you've got this thing on your face that keeps you cool and you look cool. It looks better than half the stuff that I've seen people walking around with. I've seen those people, that's all I can say, those people walking around literally with the mask, the cheap dust mask, just over their mouth, and walking around the Walmart store, breathing out of their nose. I'm like going, what are you doing? What, are you trying not to get corona on your lips there? You people? So, and I'm like, it doesn't work. And then halfway through the store, and the kids are walking around behind them. The family, you know, there's a family of 5, the husband, well, the wife, probably the boyfriend, and then 3 kids walking behind them. And the kids got the mask on, and I'm, you know, doing my shopping and stuff. And then halfway through the store, they've got it sitting on their head. And I'm like going, why even bother? Those masks could have gone to someone else who cared about protecting themselves. Nope, I want to walk around with it on my head. And then they, of course, they want to be stylish, so they put it on the side of their head. You know, they don't want to put it on the top of their head because that'd be another religion altogether. So they put it on the side of their head. They've got, you know, they hook one around their ear and it's hanging off. It's just idiots. Anyway, so you got to cover your whole entire nose and mouth. And one video I did come across, for those of you who are somewhat talented, I'm using that brush very broadly, to making your own at home, listen to this young lady right here. She teaches you with just a normal bandana and some stuff you got laying around the house to help you make one at home. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm a video producer with Today Digital, and I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can DIY a face mask using materials that you probably already have sitting around at your house. We're going to do 2 different types of masks. The first one, you will need a bandana. If you don't have a bandana, you can use a t-shirt. And then you also need 2 hair ties or rubber bands. Let's get started. Folding a bandana up into a face mask is actually really simple. What you want to do is take the bandana and lay it out flat on a table. You also want to make sure that this bandana is clean, that you've washed it, and you're going to fold the bottom edge up into the center, and then do the same thing with the top edge so that they...
Now, she does say make sure that most of the stuff, if you read the article, I'll read it for you. If you want to get stuff that's 100% cotton, because 100% cotton lets you breathe a little bit more and also captures a lot more particles and stuff.
And then you want to take your elastics and kind of separating your bandana into thirds, pull the end of the bandana through the elastic and do that a second time. And then you want to take the end.
All right, I know you guys have seen this a million times. So she says a bandana. So there's one.
Lay it out.
The next one, she says get a 100% cotton t-shirt.
Back or the front of the t-shirt, that's about 20 by 20 inches. And then you can follow along with the bandana instructions. The next mask that we're going to DIY is a little more complicated. What you're going to need for this one is a reusable tote or...
Here's what I don't understand. She's saying a reusable tote like when you go to the store. You know, the bags that are almost like not a burlap, but they're kind of they don't hold water, let's put it that way. And that's what she's saying to use on this.
Grocery bag with long handles, a measuring tape or ruler, twisty ties, scissors, and a needle and thread or a sewing kit. The first thing we're going to do with the reusable tote is cut it open so that we have 2 sheets of fabric.
All right, well, I'll post, yeah, I don't know about the reusable tote. I'll post that on the, let me write that down or I'll forget. Post DIY face mask. I'll post that on the DeaconLIve section of Prophet Radio. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com, click on DeaconLIve. You can see all the stuff that we do here behind the scenes, on the scenes, and all the articles that we talk about here on the podcast. You can see them live in real time as we're talking about them. We've got a video that runs. It's split screen. It's kind of like one of those Zoom screens, but I've got my monitor that you can see. Not a camera on the monitor like some cheap ass people do, but I've got the actual, what I'm looking at is what you're looking at. So there you go. One thing, and one more thing is, not one more thing. There's another video that's out there for those of you that are worried about, I need to get tested for the coronavirus. I need to get tested. Let me just say, you just don't go down to the store. It's not like, for example, an AIDS test. They just take an AIDS test. They take a little bit of blood from you, and you're good with that, and then they run the test on it, and they see what, kind of amoebas and stuff you got in your blood. And it's not like a allergic reaction test where they just kind of prick your skin, and then you come back a couple days later. If it's, infected or whatever, then you're allergic to that item type thing. The coronavirus is... I don't know who came up with this test. It's probably the same guy. Oh, you ready for this? Ready? Ladies? Well, I don't know. You might have to go through it too. It's probably the same test, the same guy who came up with the... Now, I'm not talking personally. This has happened to me. But for the same person that's come out with the test for gonorrhea. Now, if you don't know what the test for gonorrhea is, imagine taking a Q-tip and inserting it in the penis hole. All right, there you go. That's all I'm going to say. And that's how, and they have to swab the inside of your urethra tract. I know. It's probably the corona test is the same guy, I think, in my opinion, that created this test. So if you're watching this on the video feed here, this young lady, she's in the hospital, and she's in a nursing bed. She's in a hospital bed, and she's got her, the scrubs on and stuff, and she's got a nurse. All you see is her hands, and the nurse has got a Q-tip swab that's probably a good 12 inches long with the little tuft of cotton on the end of it, and she's doing a test on this young lady laying in bed to see if she's got the coronavirus. So here we go. Listen. What she's got is she's got the Q-tip right in the young lady's nose. Now it's about 12 inches long. So here we go.
3, 2, 1. There we go.
Now, there's only about 3 inches now sticking out of her nose. If you watch it and try to imagine where that Q-tip's going, it's going right into all of her sinus cavities. Listen.
Oh. Breathe. Breathe through your mouth. There's a clock. I know, sweetheart. I wish there was a better way we could test it.
That's the only way to test it, is to stick this 12-inch long thing in your nose, and it goes right up through your nasal cavity, and it looks like it's going into her brain. That's all I have to say. It looks like it's going right into her brain, but it's not. It's going on your sinus cavity. She's not happy.
All
Almost done. It's got to sit there during this time. Yep.
All right, ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Just yanked it out. It's kind of like putting a catheter in and catheter out. So you just can't run down to the store and get a corona test. It literally is this long, drawn out, and I hate to use that word, long and drawn out, but that's what's happening. You have to stick this big long Q-tip up your nose with a rubber hose. Maybe you had something there. Maybe that was foreseeing the future. When we come back, we're going to talk about what you guys are doing on Facebook to keep yourself busy and what some people are doing to try to keep themselves busy that's breaking the law. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Give us a call anytime at 407-448-8800. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com and click on all the social networks, the Instagram, the Facebook, and make sure you subscribe to us. No matter where you listen to us, I posted something on our Prophet Radio Facebook page that says, subscribe now with a big sub on it. And I think I posted maybe 30 some odd platforms out there as far as we're available. So all you have to do is search Deacon Live, all one word, on whatever podcasters you're listening to. And don't forget, while you're out there, make sure you watch the video as well, because there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes. Not a whole lot of stuff behind the scenes, but there's some crazy stuff. I think the last podcast I was editing some material, and I was like going, oh my God, I forgot that happened. And the way you see that is just go to prophetradio.com, click on Deacon Live, and you can see a section full of audio and a section full of videos and some of the stories that we have on the far right. So anyway, what are you guys doing to keep busy? I know that the Facebook page, Jesus Christ. I know that everyone's bored with the corona story or coronavirus and all the stuff, but I mean, there's a lot of, if I had a list of top 10 things that you see on the Facebook feed as far as trying to keep your mind busy, trying to keep yourself occupied. I know you can't sit there and watch Netflix all day long. I've got a beautiful theater room that we have here, but even still, after a couple hours in there, you got to get up and walk around, stretch, go for a walk, get outside, and do something different and get some kind of one-on-one or social contact. And a lot of people are trying to do that by posting all these like little games and stuff that you're seeing on your Facebook feed. Now here we go. Here's one thing. And it does get kind of annoying. It really does. I know when the Tiger King Netflix thing was coming out, there's a lot of people that were posting all these memes and all these funny pictures of Joe Exotic and all the stuff that, his husbands and the boyfriends and all the different pictures and all the stuff about Carol Baskin. And it's just, it's funny to see those, to see how smart they can come up with. But if you haven't seen the show, it doesn't make any sense. And there's a lot of people that are fighting it. I'm not watching that show. But eventually you will. It's kind of like, for example, here's one thing. I know this is really bad. I'm going to lose a lot of people because I have never seen the Blues Brothers movie. I've never seen it from start, opening credits to rolling credits at the end. Now I've seen bits and pieces in between. I've seen, 2 minutes here and 5 minutes here and 9 minutes here and 15 minutes here. I've seen it. I understand I understand the motif of the movie. I don't understand what the whole movie's about. And that's my swan song as far as that. But I mean, a lot of people are refusing to see the Tiger King. I almost like Tiger Kingdom. The Tiger King, but they're getting like the 3 degrees of separation. They're seeing all these memes. So everyone's like, who hasn't seen the movie goes, or the series goes, all right, well, what does that mean? And then eventually, if you're a smart person, now I have a bachelor's degree in film and what's my bachelor's degree in? I don't know. I've created so many different bachelor's degrees. I think I've got a whole wall full of them. I was a film major in school, audio, video production, theater production, film production, television production, all that stuff. That's basically what my 15 degrees are in. But you can, if you're a smart person, you can figure that out. Oh, he's a tiger guy. Okay. Oh, I guess he's gay and all that stuff. But there's all these other games and things that are driving a lot of people crazy, because it's like, it's like a virus. When one person gets it, and everyone's like going, "Oh, that'd be funny for my, 200 and some odd friends, or that'd be funny for my 500 and some odd friends, or that'd be funny for my 5,000 and some odd friends. That'd be funny for that." And it's like I spy something blue in your camera, and then so everyone's got to post something that's blue on their in their pictures and stuff, or the name the movies thing. That's the big hit right now. Is name the movies. What's the name of the movie? The name of the movies, Deacon. There's a picture, and I don't know where it came from. It had to be from an app or something, because these pictures are very, very well produced. And it is a picture of just a screen of all these different garbage and stuff. It kind of reminds me of the hidden treasure game on your app, where find the mirror, find the nail, find the this, and it's a room full of just junk and garbage, and you have to find all these items. Kind of the same thing with these pictures that are coming out. Find the 60 movies in this picture. I know one that sticks out in my head is the one of Forrest Gump sitting on the bench. He's literally holding a board, a Jumanji board, but all behind him are like another 50 some odd different movies. Or pictures, not pictures, but just little snippets of images from certain movies. So you have to sit there and figure out what that is. I'm sure it's great on the app, because you can just touch and hit and touch and hit. But, it kind of falls short on the Facebook feed. And another one that's coming out is, this is a great one. I like this one. It's recreate this pose on your phone. And I don't know, I haven't dived in deep enough, but it's some lady with Chanel type glasses on, with a big fur coat, with a glass of wine, just kind of sitting back in her chaise lounging chair and just kind of looking off camera. Like, nothing affects me. Nothing in this world's going to affect me. And so a lot of people are posting that, and the subtitle is, recreate this picture with stuff you've got around you right now. Because everyone's sitting on the couch. Everyone's just kind of hanging out. Everyone's just kind of, waiting for the next thing to happen, or the ban to be lifted, where we can all cruise and do our things. So that one's kind of funny. I was actually looking around. I was sitting and watching TV the other day in the theater room, and I'm looking around. I'm like going, I literally have nothing around me that I can do. I've got my phone. I've got my drink over here, and I got the dog and the remotes. That's all I had around me. So I'm like, there's no way I was going to do it. It'd be funny, but I had nothing to simulate all the things, the images in that picture. Another one that's out there is 20 questions. 20 questions is kind of cool if you know the person, and you just want to, and the way 20 questions is, copy paste, and I'll give you your number, or copy and paste, and I'll give this to you. It's 20 questions about things that you never knew about. Do you remember slap books? Are they called slap books? I think they're called slap books, which is actually how Facebook, if you watch the social network, it's kind of like how Facebook got its name, the Facebook. Slap books were out there. I remember they used to go around school, especially not high school as much, but junior high, and it would be a spiral notebook, and you would write 15 things and whatever on the front, and then you flip the page over, and then you write your name, and number one, you flip back to the front page, and it goes, what's your favorite color animal? Which is two weird questions in itself. And then you flip it over and go, yellow tiger. Then you flip it back to the first page again. Number two, favorite radial steel belted tire. Just weird questions, but these people would answer these questions. It doesn't get that extreme, but 20 questions. So if you know the person and they fill it out, it's kind of neat. But I don't know. I'm not going to do that. It's too much. It's too much typing. And on my phone, my reconditioned phone that I have here, I can't type all that. I literally have to sit in front of a computer to type all this out. I don't have time for all that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Actually, I do have a lot of time. We all have a little bit of time for it. So I see how that can be attractive. And one thing that I actually liked was how do you like your meat? And how do you like your meat? There's a picture, and I'll post this one. I got to write that one down because I like that one. How do you like your meat? Post that. There's a picture of 5 different meats done different ways, from rare to well done. 5 or 5 to 10 different pieces of toast, toasted in several different forms, and then coffee, from black coffee all the way up to almost like chocolate milk or a light mochaccino cream on the side. So I like that kind of meat, that kind of toast, and that kind of coffee. Just gives you an idea of who you are and what you are. I think that's more relevant based on pick out 20 things in this, or 60 movies in this picture. So that's what people are doing out there. Oh man. And that's how they're getting busy. But I say getting busy, keeping busy. I hate to say this because I don't want to even put this notion in your mind. I don't. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to come back. I'm going to frame this up for you. And I hope that you guys, I hope we're better humans than this. When we come back, I'll get into this story about 4 ladies who decided to take this upon themselves that you owe me. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks and give us a call anytime at 407-448-8800. Text us live at any time in the Queen City studio located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And don't forget, every podcast that you hear with an A, hear, R-E, there's a video that matches in tandem. The way you do that is go to prophetradio.com and you can see those videos as well. And make sure you subscribe to us. Give us a comment. We are your weekly to daily distraction from everything going on. I know we were talking about the Netflix and stuff. We have over, I think, 200 and some odd shows worth listening to. They're only about an hour each. So if you want to go some back catalog, and they last for a while. I mean, you can get current events. There's some funny stuff that we talk about and some bits and skits. So make sure you listen to some old podcasts as well. You just do it. You'll have fun. Believe me, you'll have fun. Now, one person that's not having fun right now is this manager of a Walgreens. A manager. Ready? Here we go. This is horrible. It's horrible. Walgreens manager helpfully films 4 women looting the store. Now, this is as of April 7th, yesterday at 8:30 a.m. It's becoming a looting pandemic. Looting in San Francisco pharmacy is a daily occurrence, according to the local manager. Senior staff at Walgreens claims that they are under siege from brazen thieves. There is nothing that we can do about it. One supervisor told to Fab that shoplifting happens every day and it's gotten worse during the coronavirus outbreak. So this has been going on even before the coronavirus outbreak. The looting has become a pandemic in itself. If we touch them, we get fired. If we had security, but the guards can't do anything either other than intimidate the person. The manager filmed one incident on her phone, watching helplessly as four giggling women stuffed their bags full of items from the shelves before jogging out the door, ignoring the alarms going off. Calling the police is totally useless, she added. They will yell at you for wasting their time since this is a non-violent crime. We don't even bother calling the police anymore. I wouldn't have put that in the story because now it's gonna happen twofold in San Francisco. I'm so sick of our politicians trying to report to local news channels, but it's useless as reporting it to the police. I guess this lady's reporting it all the time to the news channel, but it doesn't make any difference because here you go. And here's the video of them. It's just going to be a bunch of noise in the background. So here you go.
This is our motivation.
That's the commercial here. So this lady was filming these women literally just stealing stuff and running out the door. Like, hey, we can do this. It's San Francisco, blah, blah, blah. So here you go. Ooh. So she's zooming in on them. They're just grabbing a bunch of stuff. She's kind of hiding behind the counter like they got a gun or something. Oh, you could see the marks on the ground where everyone's got to wait. It's the 6-foot rule. So this is recently. And here they go out the front door. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow.
So it's 4 black women with long black hair living in San Francisco. I guess they were ransacking this Walgreens and stuff, and that's horrible. I mean, why would you? Who brought you up to do that? Oh, what has Walgreens done? Now maybe in that location they've done something. I don't know the Walgreens around here are getting ransacked or anything like that. But I mean, Jesus, come on, really? You're just going to cause more chaos when you just do these random things. That's against the law. Luckily, most of us are working from home. Unfortunately, the retailers and stuff have to, of course, if you're an essential employee, you're an essential employee. But for the most part, you know what? Be careful out there because I know that. All right. So personally, I know that something's happened. So there's a retail outlet, a wholesale outlet and stuff. And everyone thinks they're immune to being getting fired or anything like that, especially if you're considered an essential employee. Now listen up. I know that a lot of people being laid off. Hey, guess what? I see it on Facebook all the time. Hey, I showed up to work today. They sent us home because we didn't have any work for today. And then they called me when I got home and said, hey, go ahead and take the whole week off. And then, all of a sudden, 1 week turns into 3 weeks, and 3 weeks turns into 5 weeks. Now, I know, here's the thing. I know of some people that are being let go that are essential employees based on work performance. So, for example, you've got this guy here that's worked for a company for, let's say, 25 years. And he thinks he's untouchable. I'm untouchable. I'm the only one that can do this. I'm the only one that can do that. I'm the only one to do this. Well, guess what? Be careful out there. If that's your train of thought, is that your mind of thinking, your mind frame, your the way you approach your job? Because it's nothing for for people right now to just say, you know what? We're going to cut back our staff. And you're gone because you're a troublemaker. You think that you own the world and the world owes nothing to you type deal. And then, or the person that's always like against the grain, you're gone. You guys are the first ones gone. So, if you've got a job, be thankful, do your job, be careful, mind your P's and Q's, and be careful out there because people are looking for, I hate to say companies because of the income coming. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. The company doesn't have any money coming in. The money can't go out to pay the employees. So if they've got to cut, if they've got to thin the herd, the ones that are giving the most problems, or the highest paid ones that are giving the most problems, are going to be gone. They're going to be sent right down the road. And I know that personally. That's happened in a past couple places that I worked at. And I tried to avoid that at all costs. But I mean, you guys aren't untouchable. So just, be thankful of what you got and what you do. Mind your P's and Q's, please and thank you, and all the stuff in between. So yeah, just a little word out there. Just because you're an essential employee or considered an essential employee doesn't mean you're immune to being let go. So that I just heard some news about a friend of mine that got let go, and I'm like going, well, he's kind of a dick. I know he was kind of a dick. And so now he's not working. He's a dick at home. And we've come back. Most of you people are at home being a dick at home. And while you're a dick at home, you're working from home. Here are some things that we learned when we come back about working from home on a daily basis. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Jason, how are things?
Travis, how are things progressing?
Things are going well. How are things with you?
All right. I just had a baby in the bathroom.
You had a baby in the bathroom?
Yes.
What kind of baby?
A brown baby.
What did you name it?
A couple of quintuplets came out of there.
Oh, really? Congratulations. Mazel tov.
Yes. Quite. Yeah. Yeah, I was in there a while.
Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on our YouTube channel. And the way you do that is go to prophetradio.com, click on the DeaconLIve section, and you can see all the audio and everything that happens here at the station, and you can see the video as well. And those videos are synced up with the YouTube channel, so click on that and make sure you subscribe and do all the stuff that makes us cool and makes us cool with you, and we appreciate you guys as well. Now, everyone's working from home, and something that we have learned here on working on the French, I have to keep a schedule, a regular schedule, as far as what I have to do here on the French. As far as my daily, I have to balance my French work and my DeaconLIve work and my Prophet Radio work, which is all done here on the location, which is in the Queen City studio, located just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a beautiful little town we like to call Marshville. And the things that I have to do, I have a regimen. I have to do this, I have to do that, and you have to follow a certain schedule. Now, my wife, now she's working from home. She's trying to get into that. She doesn't want to have her work life interfere with her home life. Now, granted, we've got the property set up to where my studio is detached from the house, so I can literally, step away from the studio and get away from everything that I do here for the podcast and for the radio station. Now, my wife, we've set up an office for her when she works from home, normally, 2-3 days a week. Now, she's working from home every day now, so she's got to come up with this regimen and stuff. And these are some of the things that we've come across as far as what you need to do to be successful working from home. Now, the first thing you need to do is always at least take a shower. Take a shower and get dressed. Just because you're working from home doesn't mean doesn't mean that you don't need to look presentable. For example, your hygiene. My wife said to me the other day, hey, make sure that you remind me to brush my teeth if I haven't brushed my teeth for that day. And that's one of those stupid little things that you get into a routine to do. One thing I have to do is make sure I put on deodorant. I have to, because I don't interact with a whole lot of people unless I go on a sales call. And of course, I'm not doing sales calls anymore because people are, quarantined and stuff. But those are like the little things that you need to make sure that you're doing. Also, at least try to make your bed. If you're not making the bed, what I do for my wife, we don't make our bed every day. But what I do is in our bedroom, we have 2 huge pane windows on one side of the bedroom and 2 huge pane windows that look on the other side of the bedroom. I open those up. I make sure they're open up. We get a lot of light in the bedroom just so it doesn't feel like we're trapped into a small building or a small room or whatever. So I always, every morning, she gets up and she does her thing. I make sure I open up all the blinds in the house. That's one of the things. I walk around the whole entire house, open up all the Roman shades, and make sure that the house is lit up so it looks like, you're not in a dungeon or anything like that. So making the bed, you can take it or leave it, but make sure you're doing something in the morning that makes you feel like you're still out, that you're still available, and you're not stuck in this cramped house or anything like that. Also, make sure you keep a schedule. Keep a schedule and stick to it. I was talking to my neighbor the other day, and we were talking about, what do I do on Monday? What do I do on Tuesday? I'm like, hey, Monday's, this, cleaning this and this. Tuesday I have to do this. Wednesday I do the podcast. Thursday, edit a lot of stuff. Friday, do the social network stuff. But in the process, it's a schedule. You have to make sure that you're doing a schedule and keep a routine and stick to it. One of the biggest things is avoid the kitchen. Stay out of the kitchen, kids. How come every time I walk in the kitchen, you're in the kitchen drinking the goddamn Kool-Aid? But you've got to stay out of the kitchen. And my wife, for the most part, does that. I always ask her when I'm sitting at home and I take a break and I'm making lunch or anything, can I get you anything? Do you need anything? Nope. Just need, can you give me another soda? Can you grab me another, like orange? We get the little halos, cuties or whatever, depending on what region you're from. I'll get her an orange or 2. She eats those. Sometimes I'll make her like a small little sandwich or something like that. And also one thing that's very, very important is to get up, move around, walk around. Go for a stroll. Get out on the, unfortunately enough, we have, 20 some odd acres here. We can get out and walk around. And she's gotten to the point now where I take care of, the chickens and the horses and the cattle and all that stuff. And she's like, do me a favor. Can you save this for me? And I'll do that around lunchtime. That way it gives me an excuse to put myself on away from my desk and get up and walk the property. You know, what she likes to do is throw the hay for all the animals. So she'll take the little side-by-side, she'll drive down, load up some hay, you know, drive around, feed all the hay cradles and stuff, and then come back to the house. And that usually takes about 35 minutes. And then she's out, she's gotten a little bit of sunlight, a little vitamin D, and then she's back at what she's doing, which is great. But you've got to do this. You can't steer away from this, especially if you're someone that works, you know, with computers all day long. Now, one thing that my wife does, which drives me crazy, she leaves the TV on. Don't watch TV. She doesn't watch the TV. It's kind of like background noise. She's used to working in this collective cubicle office with 200 and some odd people. The house itself is very, very quiet. It's very, very soundproof. So she has to have some kind of TV, whether it's in 2 rooms over and the news is playing or something like that. But she has to have that little bit of background noise, kind of like when you leave the house and the dogs are at home, you leave the radio on or something so they feel like someone's in the house. It's just that kind of comforting feeling. And the last thing I want to say is stay hydrated. My wife does drink like the seltzer waters and stuff. I don't agree with that, but she drinks them. I can't stand them. They taste like seawater to me. I'm more dehydrated now than before. But she drinks the seltzer waters. She likes them. That's fine. Her whole family does that. I guess it's a northern thing. I don't know of too many people that just drink seltzer water. It doesn't really attract me. It doesn't really satisfy my thirst. But yeah, stay hydrated while you're at home working. And as long as you do this and follow these little steps, hopefully it'll make your stay at home a little bit better. It's easy for us because we don't have kids or anything. We have 2 dogs, and now and then the 2 bulldogs kind of fight with each other over who's sleeping on what bed, and so you have to separate them, and they have to be quarantined into another room. It's a big ordeal. But if you've got kids at home and you're working from home, I feel for you because you know you're constantly trying to find them something to do while you're trying to do what you're supposed to do to keep a roof over your head. One of the things that while people are living at home or working from home now, there's a lot of things that are you need to take notice of. You're going to be home a lot more, and of course you're home a lot more, but your whole house, you're going to have a full house. If you got 3 working people in the house, let's say husband, wife, and maybe a teenage kid or an adult child that's living in your house still, you're going to be home a lot more. The AC is going to be running a little bit more. One of the things at Home Depot when I was working there for many years, and I found out about it, was it's called an air scrubber. Now, if you don't know what an air scrubber is, I guarantee you right now, buy stock in all these companies that make an air scrubber. And this video right here should tell you a little bit more of what an air scrubber is. And if you're watching this on the video feed here, you can see the video of the actual air scrubber.
From Anthony Plumbing, Heating and Cooling. The United States Environmental Protection Agency has ranked indoor air pollution among the top 5 environmental dangers to your health. The air in your home can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than the worst outside air. Did you know that some of the most advanced air purification technology is now available for your home? First used in the International Space Station, the Air Scrubber Plus with Active Pure technology can remove up to 99.9% of harmful contaminants in your home. The system makes sure that air ducts, tables, furniture, countertops, doorknobs, and every surface that you touch is cleaner and safer for your family.
A little loud on the background music there, Chip.
It's all done right through your existing home HVAC system. Once installed in the existing ductwork by Anthony Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, the Air Scrubber Plus goes to work right away by duplicating the power of nature outside to clean your home inside. Active Pure scrubbers then travel through the ductwork into every corner of your home, effectively treating and purifying the entire house, greatly reducing chemicals, dangerous contaminants, mold, odors, and pollutants in the air.
So that's kind of like when you have an air purifier in your house, but those you have to clean out. And this is a UV air scrubber that you actually insert into your air ducts right there by your air handler.
Put to work. The manufacturer of the Air Scrubber Plus has spent nearly $1 million for strict testing through Kansas University studies and survived the rigor of the peer review process. That means the scientific community agreed with the results before they were independently published.
My wife used to constantly take medication for allergies, and we always complained about the smell of the 2 dogs in the house. After we had the Air Scrubber Plus installed, we no longer have any issues.
Give us a call at Anthony Plumbing, Heating, and
So there you
Cooling.
go, air scrubber. Yeah, look for them. They're reasonably inexpensive. As far as installing them, it might cost a little bit more to install them. But air scrubbers, I guarantee you, you're going to see that after this whole virus gets through. And even if, you know, the virus and everything continues on, it's good to have an air scrubber in your house, especially if you have allergies. You know, you're buying those, what are they, 20 some odd dollar friggin' air filters. They only last, it says 3 months. Not if you got animals and you leave the windows open in the house. Those things clog up within weeks of having them. Now here at the French, we have 2 intakes, 2 different sizes, 20 by 20 and 20 by 25. So, you know, those get kind of expensive when you got to replace them every month or every other month, especially if you're running the AC in the summertime. And they're like maybe $13, $14 for one. And sometimes I'm just like going, babe, just knock it out and stick it back in there. And my wife's got bad allergies. So she's like, no, I don't, and you're wondering, I can't because my eyes get swollen and stuff. I understand that, babe. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make fun of you. Someone who was made fun of for a very long time. And another thing that'll help you get out, move around, especially if you're working from home. Are you familiar with this guy? Because this guy he went into hiding, in 2014. He hasn't been seen for many years. He hasn't been in the public eye since February 2014. But 3 weeks ago, his YouTube channel began posting a bunch of stuff for the first time in 6 years. Right around the time where this whole epidemic started spreading and people were being locked in, I say locked in, and being put in quarantine, is this gentleman right here.
Hello, my friends. I'm Richard Simmons. In the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce you to what I like to call my signature moves. Dance steps and toning exercises that are not only my favorites, but are safe, effective, and fun to do.
So last week,
performing all of them.
So last week, he talked about Planet Fitness doing like live trainers on stuff on certain times for the Planet Fitness YouTube channel. Richard Simmons, I guess, started putting all his CDs or DVDs on his YouTube channel to help people start exercising and stuff. Now, the sources say Richard hasn't been physically seen since we got a partial glimpse of him in 2017. Now, here's the thing. We were told, despite this is from his people, we were told despite the flurry of Richard Simmons' YouTube videos, he's still not decided whether he'll make a return to the spotlight, but he's received a lot of praise from his fans. So they're also going to update a lot of their wear. They're coming out with a new sportswear and stuff, Richard Simmons lines and stuff. But yeah, Richard Simmons, his YouTube page just went dormant in 2014 and all of a sudden started popping up with all these new old videos that have popped up with him working out and his signature moves, which is funny because it's kind of like watching those 80s, workout videos and stuff. But yeah, Richard Simmons right now, if you're a fan of his, subscribe to him as well on YouTube. And when you do that, you'll see all his new videos and stuff. When we come back, we'll get a little bit lighter hearted and we want to thank some people for doing their job. We want to thank them all very much. And then I've got an actual coronavirus challenge for each and every one. If you stick around, you're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all our social networks and all the stuff that connects us to you and you to us. Don't forget, we are your daily, weekly distraction from all the stuff Corona intense. I know we talk about a lot of that stuff here at the Deacon Live, but I mean, for the most part, it's light and fluffy. It's the news articles that you might have missed. Did you know? Did you not know? That type stuff. And one of the things for all you, and I'm not going to end on a sad note. I'm not. There is a restaurant chain that is completely shutting its doors right now because of this whole quarantine that we're going through. And that restaurant, for all you servers out there, if you're listening to it for the first time, I'm sorry if I'm breaking the news to you. For all you fans of this restaurant, I saw a lot of posts on Facebook. Oh, we just got, 3 meals to go. And they were taking pictures of the whole layout and stuff because they did the whole pickup at the window or at the store or the location. According to restaurantbusinesses.com, Craftworks Holding, the parent company of the parent company of Logan's Roadhouse, is closing all of their 261 locations indefinitely, not just during this break. And that means all employees that were previously furloughed are now terminated, and their benefits expires this past month, which is March. The number of people out of their job is somewhere between 18,000 people. Now that's corporate, that's corporate level, and each individual level, store level themselves. There's also a place called, they also own Old Chicago. I guess that's somewhere up north, I'm assuming. They will also close and fire all their, I hate that when they say fire, let go all the people as well. So all those people out there that love the Logan's Roadhouse steaks, what do they call it? The Flo's Flay. That was a good piece of meat there. But yeah, they're gone. They're shutting all their doors down. They're going to pop up somewhere else. They're going to take the government's money. I hate to say that. They're going to take the government's money and pop up somewhere else and do good, hopefully somewhere, and hire these people back. Now, people that are still keeping the doors open at a risk of this whole coronavirus epidemic that's been going on, this group of people right here called the Theory House is thanking all of those out there that are grocers, retail outlets that are still staying open. Now, temperature checks are going to start happening, customer caps as far as people going in the stores, and contactless pay is going to happen a little bit more frequently than norm. So please make sure that you understand all this. And this is a little video that these people have made t-shirts, which you got to make t-shirts. It's going to cover in Corona. Hopefully they're 100% cotton. But this is really cool. Jim Cusson, C-U-S-S-O-N, president of the Theory House, calls them retail responders. He led a group handing out thanks t-shirts to some of the retail workers here in the Charlotte area. And it's cool. The shirts themselves, you ever gone to like those cheap grocery stores and the plastic bag has the pre-printed thank you, like all stenciled out, and then the one word, it's like red and white, and it says thank you. Like when you go to some of those shady shops, the bags say thank you, and it's like 15 different ways to say thank you. Anyways, they're handing out t-shirts for this. So if you're watching this on the video feed, here you go. This is Theory House handing out some thank you stuff for all the people keeping their stores open, the food stores, the Harris Teeters, the Publix, and all those here in Charlotte. It's turned on the
country. But close behind are the cashiers and baggers and truckers, pharmacists who are keeping America fed and healthy. At Theory House, this is an industry we support. We count on their success for our success. So we thought it important to recognize their efforts. So we're out here today to hand out t-shirts and to thank them for their service. We've also activated a social campaign. Hashtag is Retail Responders, where you can go online and thank that person who's keeping your family fed and healthy and keeping America moving forward.
So they walk into the store and they're like going, hey, thank you for everyone. There's like 5 or 6 of them. And the cashiers, this looks like a Harris Teeter. All the cashiers are covered in like gloves and masks and stuff. Here, we got some stuff for you. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Here's a t-shirt. Here's a t-shirt. So that's what they're doing here in the Charlotte area, and that is the, hold on, let me go back again. The Theory House. So here shortly, mega retailers Walmart and Amazon will which includes Whole Food Markets, Buy Low, and all that, has begun doing temperature checks at the front door. Fever of over 100 degrees or more people will be sent home or sent away. Beginning this week, grocery stores will be conducting effective April 6, 2020. Walmart has infrared thermometers at all its stores, clubs, and distribution centers, and expects to take associates' temperatures as they report to work also. So not only on a store level, the distribution and the club centers are also going to be taking temperatures of just the employees. Amazon expects to roll out the temperature checks as its facilities here in the next day or so. This is all written on April 2nd, by the way. Anyone registering temperature over the CDC recommended 100.4 degrees will be asked to return home and come back to work when they have gone down, which is usually about 3 days. So they're taking more opportunities to check their distribution center, make sure that everyone there is doing all right. So you think of that on a store level. You know, it comes from here, it comes from there, it comes from there. So we're hoping that they're going to nip this in the bud. Like I said, you know, everyone locked down for 30 days, 60 days, and then we'll get this all cleared, and then we'll worry about the next epidemic. And maybe we lock that down here as well. Now, I've got a challenge for everyone. This is my... I know, this is going to be really good. This is my Corona challenge. Whether it's the beer or whether it's the virus, I'd like to see everyone try this challenge. This young couple... Of course, I closed out of everything.
Done. Okay.
All right, hold on. So this is called the Garage Door Challenge. Now, if you're watching this on the video feed here, it's this elderly couple. I say elderly. They've got to be in their 60s. And what they've done is they've duct taped 2 beers to the garage door, probably about belly button height. They're both standing in their robes. Were they drinking early? Probably late. I don't know. It's either early or late or in the middle of the day. They're wearing robes. So if you're watching the video here, get ready. This is the Garage Door Beer Chugging Challenge.
Is it on? It's on. Okay.
Alex, we're on.
Garage door assisted Corona
Chugging challenge.
Pop the beers.
All right, hang on.
Assume the position.
She hits the door. Beer goes up. It just pours in their mouth, and they're walking back as it's pouring in their mouth. They're drowning. They're drowning.
Wait.
I don't think we missed a drop.
Jake and Barb,
I'm pretty sure we got it all.
you're up.
So I guess they sent a challenge out. So what they do is they open up 2 beers that are duct taped to the garage door, and then someone hits the up button, and as the garage is going up, the beer is going to start pouring. So you have to lift your head back to ingest the beer or catch it all in your mouth, and then walk out. You got to move. You're walking back as the beer. Genius. I don't know who thought of that, but there you go. All right. I'd like to thank everyone that called here to the station. I took a couple calls off air because I knew they were going to be long and lengthy. And what I'll do is I'll put those up on a separate broadcast here. So stick around for that. Make sure you like us, subscribe to us, and you can hear those. Some phone calls about some people going through some stuff and the details of what's going on with them as well. I'd like to thank everyone that sent me videos this time instead of through my instant messenger. And the way you can send a video to us is to go to deacon@profitradio.com, and that's my email address. And if you just want to share a picture, you can go to Profit Radio and upload a picture there on the share with us section of the page. On behalf of all you guys out there taking the time to listen to this, I'll let you get back to what you got to do. My name is Deacon saying good night and good night.
Oh no. Wait! Come back!
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
There you go. Stupid.